Hi guys, so earlier last week an email from NetGalley saying that the first 500 people who clicked on the link they included would get a ebook copy of The Geography of You and Me by Jennifer E. Smith. So of course I wasn't going to pass up a chance to read Jennifer's new book, and I read it and I absolutely loved it. I actually had it finished in like 24 hours. It was that good. The plot of the story, or the basis of the story, is basically this girl gets trapped in an elevator with this guy who is the son of the superintendent of her building during a nationwide blackout. So they're trapped in this building and they're trapped in the elevator, and then they get out, and then of course they spend the rest of the night together, and after the lights come back on they never see each other again until what happens in the story? Until he sends her a postcard from New York, but at the same time she also sends him a postcard from Paris, and then they start this little sort of postcard romance type thing, which is really cute and totally adorable. And I must agree with the guy character, whose name I can't remember. Okay, we're just gonna read from Amazon. Lucy lives in the 24th floor, Owen lives in the basement. It's fitting then that they meet in the middle, stuck between two floors of a New York City apartment building on an elevator rendered useless by a citywide blackout. After they're rescued, Lucy and Owen spend the night wandering the darkened streets and marveling at the rare appearance of stars above Manhattan. But once the power is back, so is reality. Lucy soon moves abroad with her parents, while Owen heads out west with his father. The brief time they spend together leaves a mark, and as their lives take them to Edinburgh and to San Francisco, to Prague and to Portland, Lucy and Owen stay in touch through postcards, occasional emails, and phone calls. But can they, despite the odds, find a way to reunite? So that was the plot basis of The Geography of You and Me. And this was my first Jennifer E. Smith book, and it will not be my last, for sure. This book was absolutely phenomenal, to the point that the biggest reason why I'm making this video is because I can't get the book out of my head. I just want to read it again, and although I have it in ebook version, I want a physical copy of it because the cover is just so adorable. I'll put it here probably. And 5 stars across the board. The writing was beautiful, the story was beautiful. It wasn't one of those like mushy, gooey, insta-love type romance books. It was good, and there were these twists and turns, and there was sort of the whole romantic triangle thing, but it wasn't cliched and annoying like most are these days. I don't know about all of you, but I'm getting really sick of triangles. Anyway, let's talk about the book a bit more. Let's go to, this will be the spoilery section, so if you haven't read the book, go out and pick it up and give a read. If you have read the book, continue on watching and let me know what you think down below. There's not much bad I have to say about this book, I must say. I really did enjoy the book. The book was written in 3 parts. I like books that are kind of written in 3 parts because it feels like shorter sections and you can split it up nicely, do different reading sessions. Like I would sit down and read part 1, and then I'd take a break, and then I'd sit down and read part 2, and then I'd take another break, and then I sat down and read part 3, and I read the whole thing. So part 1 is where, during the blackout, when they're in the elevator and the whole thing, before they both end up moving and leaving New York City. It was perfect. It was pretty much the typical dream date of almost anyone. Well, this part is when they're getting to know each other, and I really liked that they weren't cliched. Like when I was reading this book, I expected her to be this like New York City socialite that was all into like partying and stuff like that, but she wasn't. She wasn't snotty or anything like that. She loved living in the city because she felt comfortable there. She loved The Catcher in the Rye, which is one of my favorite books, and she had this fascination with travel, especially to Paris, which, if anybody knows me well, I adore Paris. I have this issue with it. I have way too many of these in my house. So, and he is the cute boy that is the son of a single father because his mother died, and he's dealing with it in the way that 2 men would. They don't. Which is typical, and it's understandable. This book is just so realistic in that sense, and that's one of the things I loved about this book. Then we get to part 2, and this is where you want to take the book and flick it across the room. Not because it's bad, but because you're rooting for Lucy and Owen so much that when they move away and start seeing other people, because that's what happens, you get angry with Jennifer Smith, and you get mad that she's doing this to you because you just want Lucy and Owen to be together. And then, of course, she does bring them together and they fight. They have an argument, they have a debacle. They act stupidly because they haven't seen each other, and at the same time they're feeling the same thing. It's like they feel like they should be together, but they're both seeing other people because they don't want to be held down by the other one, when in the end they want to be held down by the other one. And then you get to the third part, which is my favorite part, and it's when they're talking and they're emailing, and I'm just like, finally, they're coming together, and it's just a happy ending. And if you can tell by the fact that I can't form proper sentences, that should tell you how good this book is, because my thoughts are stars I cannot form into constellations. Yes, I just said that. But yes, if you have not read this book, please read it. It is so amazingly beautiful, and I will definitely be picking up her other books very, very, very soon. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more, hit the subscribe button. See you next time. Bye.